Let's get started right away. Short sellers are getting desperate. They want your shares at a bargain price. They need your shares to cover. They desire your shares because of the imminent Medicare expansion news. They are trying to drive this price down as far as possible, as fast as they can, to recoup their losses. But guess what? As I always have been saying, this is not a dead cat. Clover Health is a healthy company that is going to revolutionize the healthcare industry, and we can win this fight and make this stock soar. When I saw the stock drop 14%, I checked the news to see, what are the catalysts? What is causing this drop to happen? Well, some people are saying the lockup period expired today, and that's the reason why. Well, we already knew that for a couple of days at least, so I don't think that's any surprise. Also, do you really think that insiders are going to sell their shares at a company's early stages, especially with its potential to grow substantially? I think not. That would be silly to do. Also, $10, to remind you, is the price when this stock was listed, so it wouldn't make sense for investors to sell at the bottom prices, okay? We are at the basement, people, and this elevator can only go up. We have analysts saying that this company's price is around $10 for the 1 year point, okay? But that was after the short report by Hindenburg, which was highly discredited and countered by Clover Health. Before that report came out, the price targets were at $13 or even $15. And in my video, Mother of All Due Diligences, Reddit user Livinit mentions this stock should realistically be in the $20 range by fundamentals alone. But what else could it be in the news? To be honest, the rest of the news that I find is good things that are probably scaring those short sellers. I see Clover Health is offering a grocery benefit to its members with Walmart. This would match other Medicare Advantage players like Humana and Centene. So Clover Health is adding more value while also solidifying partnerships with big corporations like Walmart. I still see good momentum here, but I'm not finished. Over the weekend, we had this article. From The Hill. And this article states that there is a ramp up in Medicare expansion push in Congress. That's really good news for us investors. This age drop would cause Medicare to be available to millions of more people and would give Clover Health the opportunity to expand even faster and get more people using the Clover Assistant. Short sellers are afraid. Short sellers are definitely afraid of this coming to fruition, which is why they're acting fast. But we aren't going to let them. We are going to hodl, and this is truly the end game, people. With Monday's movements, I also see a really, really good entry point into getting more shares of CLOV right now, especially with that iron grip hold above $10 mark, that hold above that $10 mark. We got to keep it above there. But let's say you did watch and you're like, I'm not here for CLOV's beautiful long-term potential. I want to squeeze. Well, then I still have great news for you. The data hasn't changed. We recently had Clover Health as number 1 on Fintel.io Short Squeeze Explorer. We still have Clover as number 1 for top trending on Reddit many times. We're still number 1 for highest short squeeze interest out there according to highshortinterest.com currently, okay? We still have a fast-growing subreddit with over 35,000 members, and we still have a lot of dark pool volume on this stock. We still have a ton of short interest percentage of the free float according to Ortex. We still have almost all the shares borrowed and a high borrowing fee according to iBorrowDesk. If you put all this together, you can see that a one-day 14% hit is not going to change this opportunity. The data tells all, and we are still on the right path for this to squeeze. Yes, we did hit $9.96 at one point. But the last time I heard the words $9.96, it was telling me that something is on sale and I need to buy it. You got to get that discount. You got to average down. We were 4 pennies off the list price for this stock. Imagine you have the opportunity to buy Amazon at the beginning price of the company. Of course, you would do it right now. And to be honest, when you have companies like Amazon that disrupt markets, and Clover Health is definitely one of them because it's going to revolutionize healthcare as a health technology company. You want to get all into these types of companies, okay? All of the competitors are afraid of Clover Health. Clover Health is taking a ton of market share in each single county that it gets into. It's a growing business. Again, it's not a dead cat. But let's dive in deep into the data and check it out. And if you're getting value from this video, please smash that like button for me. It really helps. In Ortex, we can see, here was the short interest, by the way. And again, we are currently number 1. Going to Ortex, we can see that the short interest percentage of the free float is currently sitting at 35.45%. This is actually an increase in the short interest, even though we had a drop of 14% today, an increase in short interest by 4.38% from the previous day. We can also check that the cost to borrow is still pretty dang high. Right now, the average is sitting at 31.04% with the max at 74.88%. Both are still really big percentages. The days to cover is at 0.87 days. And lastly, the utilization rate is currently at 99.46% still. Great data to hear as always. Let's go and check out the iBorrowDesk for an update. We are currently seeing a fee of 30.7% with only 100 shares available. Again, that fee is still pretty high. So again, pressure is continuously building. Next, we're going to check out the Webull app to check out the order flow. In the order flow, we can see that in terms of large-scale orders, we did just about under 1 million of outflow compared to inflow. But one thing I want to point out is for the small-scale orders. For the small-scale orders, we see 63.15 million inflow versus 50.46 million outflow. So that's about a 13 million more inflow than outflow on that, which is really good to see. And it shows that us apes are making moves. Now, let's talk about the movement of the day. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Today was pretty tough. But at least now that everyone wants to buy the dip can. Everyone that wants to average down can. Everyone that wants to get in at a fundamentally good value, according to analysts, around the $9.67 mark can. So at the beginning of the day, we opened up at $11.11. 10 minutes later, we reached the intraday low of $9.96. That was a big dip. We then recovered a bit and broke through the VWAP. Then at 11:44 a.m., we went back below the VWAP and consolidated a bit where we started. We started this battle for about $10. That was a key battle area. It was around that $10 mark. At the end of the day, we reached, we ended off at that $10 even, okay? Very even number there. In the after hours, we went up 1.3% up to $10.13. So there is light at the end of the tunnel after all. We can also see that the volume was pretty high, and I think it was actually the second largest amount of volume in the stock market for the day. We had 76.12 million shares traded, which is 16 million more than CLOV usually gets on average. So hopefully we get more volume when this picks back up on Wednesday. Next, we're going to check out the sentiment that investors have for the stocks in Options Sonar. So going to Options Sonar here. All right, we can see these fun numbers. As you can see, CLOV currently has a primarily bullish sentiment from an options standpoint. We can see that for July 16th, compared to the last time I spoke about this, the gap has gotten wider. We're now at 5.93 million bullish versus 3.97 bearish sentiment. When we look at August 20th, we can see that it's even wider. It gets crazier. We have 11.91 million bullish versus 1.3 million bearish. So based on this, the general consensus is that most investors expect something big to happen by August 20th. I also personally agree with this as well. Next, we are visiting Ape Wisdom, and we're visiting Ape Wisdom to see the trending stocks for the past 24 hours on Reddit. As you can see, CLOV is sitting at number 2, still very high up on the mentions list. We've seen it go to number 1 plenty of times before, even though we got AMC and GME as the love child of Reddit, Wall Street Bets, and everything. We still have CLOV pushing up. We still have CLOV getting up to that top, okay? Getting up to number 2. All right, that's pretty good. So please keep on mentioning CLOV in the subreddits that are mentioned at the top. That definitely helps out and keeps this CLOV momentum going. If you want to be part of this movement, I again invite you to check out our very strong subreddit page. Right now, we're at 35.4 thousand members strong. So please make sure to check out the link in the description below to the subreddit to be part of this movement. Lastly, it's important to be patient with this play. No one really knows what day a squeeze will happen. All we have is the data to point to potential opportunities. Also, for a limited time, if you want 2 free stocks valued up to $2,300 from Webull by depositing $5, please use the link in the description below. It really does help my channel. And if you like this content and want me to continue following CLOV this closely, hit the like button, share with a friend or community, subscribe, and as always, we'll see how Wednesday goes, because as always, I want you to have a great trading day, you lucky people. Take care. Bye-bye.